Hey, it's Greg Burdine at Faith Baptist Church in Route 66 and journeying through this Bible. Thanks for continuing on and reading through this. We just have a few chapters here in Ezekiel that we're going to look at today, just 3 chapters. And I love how we can apply even some of the things that were going on thousands of years back and what the people were doing and what Ezekiel warned them, that we can apply them to our life and learn some lessons. You know, that's a good thing if you'll learn the lessons. Otherwise, you're going to repeat those lessons. So we got 3 chapters. Ezekiel chapter 14 that you'll read talks about idols of the heart. God rebukes the leaders of the nation because they set up idols in their heart. And their heart, they wanted these false gods, these things that were not God. And we might look and say, you know what, we don't do statues and worship to these gods, and we don't worship the sun. But if we put money or sports or our job or our hobby or a lot of those things, anything that gets in front of God becomes an idol. We need to be careful. We can set it up in our heart. And he said, even if Noah, Daniel, and Job, which are 3 great guys of the Old Testament, were there, it would not save them as a nation. And we all are responsible for what is important in our own hearts. And I think that's an important lesson to learn as well. Chapter 15, Jerusalem is compared to a useless vine. A burnt vine is useless for woodworking, and Jerusalem has been burned and is fruitless because of their sin. And we need to be careful. You know, God can restore, but Jerusalem was messed up, and God had to, destroy it in order to bring it back. In chapter 16, Jerusalem is compared to an unfaithful bride. It's kind of a tough illustration, but God treated Jerusalem like his bride. He loved her, adorned her with beauty, but she, in our vernacular, she became a prostitute. And the love and care that she should have given as a city, should have given to God, she gave it to other idols and to the foreign nations. And that's how he felt that the city had treated him. But he promises, even though she's done that, and he's going to let her do what she wants to do, and that is go with the other nations. But he's going to bring her back and restore her. And we're seeing even now in our time the beginning of that fulfillment as the nation of Israel, the Jewish people, are coming back into their own country. And I think eventually they're going to be restored and have God as their true God. So that's kind of neat. Some applications for us. Idolatry begins in the heart. Outward is important, but the heart, the desires, are even more important. So we need to make sure that our heart is where our ought to be. Actions follow the heart. Second lesson, fruitlessness leads to judgment. God wants us to bear fruit like a vine. You have a vine, you have an apple tree, you have some kind of plant, you want it to bear fruit. And if it doesn't, you cut it down and put something else in it. And we find out that God actually did that to the nation of Israel. He cut her down, and he is eventually going to restore her back. But, don't be fruitless. Make sure you're producing something for God in your life. A third lesson, God's grace outshines our unfaithfulness. Even when we are not what we ought to be for God, and we're talking about, the nation of Israel betrayed him, turned away from him. He promises that he will never, and he will restore us. And that's what he's eventually going to do with the nation of Israel, and that's what he does with us. He loves us, and though we may turn from him, he will not turn away from us. So make sure you stay close to him. So that's another good lesson. So enjoy your reading today. I hope it's